What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, June 26th, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 10:17 a.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and I wanted to update you guys on the situation with Iran and some other breaking news from around the world. So we're hearing now that over 50,000 people are reported missing following the earthquake in Venezuela, according to crowdsourced data. So that is a massive amount. And Venezuela's health ministry has raised the death toll to at least 235 as of right now. But I think we're going to see potentially 100,000 deaths or even more. Just total insanity over there in Venezuela. And this is what Trump tweeted. He wrote, "The two major earthquakes that just hit the great people of Venezuela are both massive in scale and have left a devastating number of deaths. The U.S. stands ready, willing, and able to help. I have instructed all agencies of our government to get ready to move quickly. We will be there for our new and great friends. Early reports are not good." So Trump summoning the U.S. military to assist the Venezuelan people. And U.S. Southern Command announced that it is surging available assigned U.S. military forces to assist in recovery operations in Venezuela. The United Nations has set up temporary shelters for displaced residents in Venezuela. And we're hearing that multiple countries have started sending aid to Venezuela, including the neighboring countries of Colombia, El Salvador, also Ecuador, and some European countries like Spain and France and Portugal have started sending aid as well. So that's the latest on Venezuela. Again, back-to-back earthquakes, a 7.5 and a 7.2, absolutely insane. And Iran yesterday attacked another ship in the Strait of Hormuz, a Singapore-flagged cargo ship, testing last week's U.S.-Iran agreement to reopen the vital shipping lane. The strike damaged the ship's bridge but caused no casualties. It came hours after Iran warned vessels not to use routes it hadn't approved. The Singapore-flagged vessel Ever Lovely was transiting with a group of 3 ships following the route identified by the International Maritime Organization that hugged the Omani coast. According to seafarers in the flotilla, there was no warning from the Iranian Navy or radio communication instructing the ships to turn back. Okay, so Iran randomly attacking a group of ships that were following the International Maritime Organization approved route through the Strait of Hormuz that was closer to Oman. And Iran was pissed off at Oman as well for providing these routes to ships to allow them to transit the Strait of Hormuz. And we're hearing that as many as 4 ships, including 2 oil tankers, turned back while attempting to cross the Strait of Hormuz via a route parallel to the coast of Oman. Okay, so Iran harassing ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Iran has proposed charging service fees in the Strait of Hormuz jointly with its Gulf neighbors, estimating the charges could bring in $40 billion a year for the countries involved. So you see, Iran is full of crap. They don't want to allow free passage of ships. They want to put a tax or a toll on it. And they still believe that the Strait of Hormuz is theirs, which it is not. It's an international waterway. And the commander of Iran's Quds force said if Israel does not voluntarily withdraw from southern Lebanon today, it will be forced to flee in defeat tomorrow. Wow, that is totally insane. That is a threat from the Quds force to Israel. And Iranian missile and drone attacks caused major damage to the U.S. Navy's base in Bahrain, including the Fifth Fleet headquarters, communications facilities, warehouses, and support buildings, according to satellite imagery analyzed by the Wall Street Journal. The extent of the destruction had not been publicly acknowledged by the Pentagon, so those attacks in Bahrain against the Fifth Fleet and other Navy sites were a lot worse than the Department of Defense initially stated. And the Israeli Minister of Energy Eli Cohen said the issue of withdrawing from the security zone in Lebanon is not on the agenda. Even if Trump asks us to withdraw, we'll tell him no. Okay, so Israel is not going to withdraw from Lebanon, and Iran has designated a full Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon as a red line for any final deal with the U.S. A source close to the Iranian negotiating team revealed this demand to state broadcaster IRIB, signaling a major potential hurdle for ongoing diplomatic progress. Okay, so Iran is forcing Israel to withdraw from Lebanon under this agreement, and we'll see if Trump tries to pressure Israel to withdraw or what's going to happen. But that's a major sticking point right there. And Iran criticized Oman for issuing shipping routes for the Strait of Hormuz without Iran's involvement. In a statement, the IRGC Navy said that some authorities, without directly naming Oman, had announced a new route for vessel traffic through the strait without coordination with Iran. It added that the only authorized traffic routes are only those issued by Iran, warning that any others are highly dangerous. So you see what Iran is doing? They think they can control the Strait of Hormuz. Totally insane. And Israeli security and military officials deny a Reuters report that the IDF, that's the Israeli military, has withdrawn from parts of Lebanon. Okay, so that is fake news being circulated by Reuters that Israel has begun withdrawing from Lebanon. Totally fake. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video. And the Israeli military has yet to be instructed by political leaders to withdraw, according to officials. A senior Lebanese security official says they are unaware of any withdrawal of Israeli troops from its so-called security zone in southern Lebanon. This was reported by the Times of Israel. So Israeli military sources and Lebanese security officials both saying that there has been no withdrawal of Israeli troops, okay, from Lebanon. And Belarus has announced mobilization exercises that started June 20th, with all reservists ordered to immediately report to collection points to update their military records, according to the Belarus Defense Ministry. Wow. Okay, so Belarus is mobilizing. What could they be mobilizing for? To help Russia invade Ukraine again, or to invade the Baltics, or attack NATO? I don't know, but this is very concerning. And Romania has advanced a bill calling for unification with Moldova. Romania's lower house of parliament has advanced a bill declaring that Romania and Moldova should become a single sovereign state. It states that the Parliament of Romania decides on unification with the Republic of Moldova and authorizes the government to immediately begin negotiations with Moldova. Now the bill must be considered by the upper house of the parliament in Romania. Earlier, Moldovan President Maia Sandu spoke in support of the unification of the two countries. Wow, so the president of Moldova wants to unite with Romania and bring them back together. Guys, if you're not aware, Moldova and Romania are the same country. They were split apart by Stalin. Stalin broke a chunk of Romania off and turned it into Moldova, okay? And NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte said that tens of billions of dollars in new defense contracts will be announced during the July NATO summit. And Ukrainian attack drones successfully hit Russia's Novomoskovsk power plant in the Tula Oblast overnight, setting the facility ablaze. And the Ukrainian President Zelensky says he has agreed to a 40-day campaign to try to influence Russia to end the war. So what does that mean? That means more strikes on their oil and gas infrastructure, their energy, okay, and other important targets, power plants. So Ukraine is going to step up the pressure now that Russia's on their heels. Okay, Ukraine has really been hitting their oil and gas facilities hard. And the other day, Zelensky said that now's the time to attack Russia because Russia has pulled their air defenses away and relocated them around Moscow and Valdai, which is where Putin's compound is. And the U.S. Air Force is developing the AFLRW, a new missile with a 1,000 nautical mile range, built to strike high-value targets like tankers and command aircraft from unprecedented distances. Wow, 1,000 nautical miles. And North Korea tested updated artillery and missile systems under Kim Jong-un as part of its 5-year military modernization plan. And what you're looking at here is a picture of one of these missile systems being tested. The tests included an upgraded 240 millimeter multiple launch rocket system, a tactical ballistic missile with a special warhead, and extended range 155 millimeter artillery. So with all this artillery and missiles, you know where they're going to point that at? They're going to aim that right at Seoul, the capital of South Korea, which is within artillery range of North Korea, okay? And the Israeli foreign minister and the new Colombian president spoke by phone yesterday. The Israeli foreign minister said, "I held a phone conversation with my friend Abelardo de la Espriella, the president-elect of Colombia, who is also a true friend of the Jewish people and the state of Israel. I congratulated him on his important victory in the elections, a victory that creates hope and possibility for a better future for Colombia and its citizens, and I wished him great success." And the president-elect of Colombia said, "Colombia will restore and strengthen its relationship with the state of Israel like never before. Israel can count on Colombia as a loyal friend and steadfast ally. May God bless our two nations." Wow, so the new president of Colombia vowing to get really close with Israel. So this is huge news for South America, because South America, Central America, or Latin America has always been dominated by socialist leaders and dictators, socialist, communist, narco dictators, okay? And now we're starting to see some Christian right-wingers taking over slowly. So like in Ecuador, now Colombia, and then Argentina. So looks like there's a mini revolution underway in Latin America. The people of these countries are sick of the cartels running the show, and the Maduros and these socialist, communist, gangster thugs backed up by China and Russia running their countries. But until later on, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 P's: prepare, practice, and persevere. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is Matt Hat Jerky. Guys, if you're a beef jerky lover like myself, you got to try Matt Hat Jerky. This is the best beef jerky I've ever had. I personally met the owner of this company at SHOT Show, and he's actually local to Pennsylvania. This company has an interesting story behind it. He founded this company when he was 11 years old. Yeah, that's right, 11 years old. He's now 19, and he makes gourmet beef jerky, the best jerky I've ever had. He's got over a dozen different flavors, and it's all sourced with U.S. beef, so no foreign beef, no nitrates, and no MSG. So it's all natural American beef jerky. And if you use my promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And you got to go to matthatjerky.com, and I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. That's matthatjerky.com, one word, matthatjerky.com. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off your entire order, and the link and the promo code are in the description down below.